Strange. Why am I pink?
Can't say yo.
So where is that? Where is that?
Rough Riders.
Y'all are going to check.
Oh, oops. So I can't play.
Y'all are going to jail.
So I can't hit that one. I gotta move that button. That's crazy. Right when it was.
Oh, now we gotta go.
And I gotta make it louder. That's crazy.
Rough Riders.
I didn't know it was gonna be louder. Can you hear yourself? Oh, okay. Maybe it's just me being alone. Yay! I found the intro song that I like. It's lit. It came to me out of nowhere. I happened to be on IG, and I think it was like one of those light feet archive channels or something like that I ended up coming across, because you know they got some of the best dance mixes. I was like, oh, I like this. I like this.
Sounds funny for the show.
I had to, snatch that. I don't know who made this. Don't come for me. I'm not in the mood. And we not finna do that. I need you to understand. I need you to understand. This is all fair in, content and streaming. And if you are the DJ and you want your credits, by all means, email me, lfnprod@gmail.com. But welcome. What's going on? Happy Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday and happy belated.
Well, my birthday didn't happen yet, but it'll be on the 4th. But I start my birthday at the tippity top of the month every year. I used to celebrate my birthday for the whole month back in the day when I had the energy for all that shit. Multiple events, multiple gatherings and get-togethers and all of that. Now I don't have the patience for none of that no more. I can't be bothered. I do one event, everybody come to this one, or you could take me out individually. But other than that, I'm not organizing multiple events, because it used to be some people had kids so they could only do brunch, and then some people, they're dating or whatever, so they can't do certain days because they're going to be with their significant other, and then people who work. When I used to want to do stuff during the week, when my birthday would fall during the week, they would always have stuff to do. So it was always trying to accommodate everybody and make sure everybody was included on my birthday and all of that. Now I just do one event, and whoever shows up. And like I said, anybody else, they'll take me out on their own time at their own convenience. But yeah, this year I'm doing hookah and vibes with the homies on Saturday. So I done sent out all the text messages. Actually, I gotta send out more text messages to let people know, because there are rules apparently that I was made aware, but I was not made aware that I had to make other people aware before they got there. So now I gotta send out a formal invitation with the rules and shit on there. But other than that, I know we missed Sunday, but I was so relaxed. I just did not feel like it. I had things on my mind to talk about for Sunday, but I feel like, why does that look scratched? That's weird. It's in front of my camera. I don't know what it's not the actual lens, but it's a part of the case. I wonder if that happened when I dropped it just now. That would be. I wonder if that's why it's pink. Cause I definitely dropped it, and now for some reason I don't know. Like, has it color corrected yet? It's still not color correcting. Okay, that
It looks
brings.
like it is.
Yeah, but as it comes back to me, and then why doesn't it lock? Okay, yeah, I needed to stay like that. You see, and then now it gets pink again. No, actually, that's a little bit better. I don't look pink anymore. Okay, so maybe that worked. Maybe that worked. What was I about to say? I hate that I be getting so sidetracked.
Bruh,
Like,
I got you. You said Sunday you was relaxed, and me, I was nearly on my deathbed. Yeah. Bruh.
seriously. Yeah, I just, it was just too much going on for Sunday, so I opted, and I'm back being pink again. What the fuck? Is it the light? I don't know if it's the light that's making me pink. I don't know what it is, but
It can't be the light, because, I mean, the light's always been there, and it's never been a color issue like that.
or is it because I don't usually wear brown?
It might be the camera.
I did something. Oh boy. I can't afford another camera right now. But what was I about to say? But yeah, so Sunday I had other plans. I did other stuff. I kind of enjoyed my residual Saturday into Sunday. And then yeah, I got plans for this weekend. I had dinner this week. That was nice. I'm supposed to be doing brunch, I think both Saturday and Sunday. I don't know how I'm gonna manage that, but I'm supposed to be doing that. So they're coming in. The invitations and the plans and the activities are coming in. But yeah, I just appreciate everybody and just want to thank everybody for the sentiments, the early birthday wishes, the on time birthday wishes as they start rolling in. And yeah, just more life, another year around the sun. Like it's one of those things. Like as you get older,
I already made it this far.
that is true. That is very true. And I think about it, like growing up, I won't say that I grew up with a lot of like kids my age dying, but there were a couple of people who passed as I was a kid that I didn't realize the gravity of what happened until now. Like looking back, like damn, like that person, like things that I've experienced, that person never got to experience. Like I remember one kid I went to school with, his name was Sucre, and he passed playing on the roof on Mother's Day. We was on break from school, and apparently he was playing on the roof with his friends on Mother's Day weekend, and he happened to fall off the roof, and he passed away. And I remember when we came back to school, that being like big news. And at that time, you're like, what, 11, 12, 13? You don't really think like,
That's crazy.
oh shit, like this, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh damn, he died. Like we went to the funeral, like a bunch of us from the school went.
Wow.
But
That
I don't, yeah, but to me, it's like it happened and I low key don't remember it. Like it wasn't until I was doing one of my French lessons and one of the words was sugar. And you pronounce it sucre, and it's pronounced and it's spelled like how his name. And I was like, oh my god, like that's probably where his mom got his name from. Like that's like just thinking about that, and I'm like, damn, like it's been years since I've thought about Sucre. That's crazy. Damn, that nigga died when we were like teenagers. So he never got to turn 18, never got to have his first drink as a 21-year-old, never did the partying all night and then going to class or going to work the next day. Like there's just mad shit that he didn't get to experience. Same thing with the girl in my high school. Her name, I believe, was Faith. She passed over like a Christmas break. Like nobody in school knew she had some, I guess like an autoimmune disease or something was going on with her. We just knew she was Pentecostal because she used to wear skirts all year round. So like even in the wintertime, she would wear, you know, jean skirts with leggings and all of that underneath and blah, 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 blah. So that was the only thing we really knew about her. We went home for Christmas break, came back, teachers made an announcement. Faith passed away during the break. She ended up being on the page in our yearbook. All of that. Again, I went away to college. Damn near never thought about Faith ever again. I mean, it's sad, but yeah, it just didn't really dawn on me. But in turning, I don't know if I want to tell y'all my age, but in turning the age that I'm turning.
25.
Yeah, I'm... In turning the age that I'm turning, I realize now why my mom used to lie on my blue cards when I was in school. Like, I get it now. It makes a lot of sense. Cause it's just wild. Saying like my friend said my age yesterday, and I just was like, what the fuck? Like it didn't even seem right, and I almost didn't believe him. Like I had to do the math. I was like, this don't make no sense. Oh, did I fade myself to black? I faded myself to black. That's hilarious. Yeah, it just didn't dawn on me. Like it didn't sound right coming out of his mouth. But niggas is really grown. Like this is getting real.
Nah, but like when somebody passes that you grew up with, that's even harder.
I mean,
because I had a homie. I think I told you I had a homie who passed away about. Damn, it's about to be 2 years ago already.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And he was like what, 34? Died because basically cracked his skull on the pavement when like riding the scooter and shit. He got hit by a car and everything like that.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so finding that out is like wow. That it gives you like a reminder that like yo, life is literally short. Like
no, that's a fact.
Like, you could literally be here one day and then. And be gone like that.
Yeah,
and then he had ambitions too. Like he was in the film and all that stuff. He was trying to start his own film studio, and then that happens.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a couple of people. Like I have a girl I went to high school with. I always feel bad because as hype as I be, you know, for my birthday, I know her sister passed away around the same time. Mm-hmm. And it's like every year she posts about her sister, I feel for her more and more because her sister had kids. Mm-hmm. So she's taking over, you know, raising her sister's kids and doing an amazing job of it at that. Like from what we've seen on social media and the people that she keeps in contact with, like she's holding it down. That's amazing. Yeah. But it is weird. People lose siblings. I have, you know, another homegirl who she lost a brother, and you know, it never gets easier for her. There's things that happen. She just had a baby. She wants to share these things with her brother, and he's no longer here. And it just makes you appreciate, you know, the times that you do have, or the time that you do have, and the times that you have had. And I think that's the biggest lesson of getting older and spending time, you know, with your loved ones on your birthday, because it is an accomplishment. A lot of times people don't make it. Like 365 days is a long time.
It's not always promised to everybody.
It's a long time, and it's like it may seem like it goes fast. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. I could have sworn 2025 just started, and now all of a sudden my birthday's around. Like this don't make no sense. Like we just got here. It just got warm 2 days ago, and now already it's about to be summertime. Like it's nuts. But yeah, I don't really have too much for today. There were some things that you had sent via what you call it, TikTok. I mean, not TikTok.
Eki.
Yeah, whatever that means.
X.
Whatever that means. Yeah, you sent some stuff from your favorite platform.
My favorite.
I mean, I'm not really. I gave up on Twitter, X, whatever the hell. I gave up on it a long time ago.
No, it's a cesspool. I agree with that.
I don't
like. I try to find like whatever I find on Twitter. I try to find it on IG, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna get it from Twitter. Man. Unfortunately.
No, only because it's like Twitter stopped being fun when we stopped watching stuff live on Twitter. Like I used to love watching Super Bowl or Grammys or the Oscar, whatever it was that was like one of those you have to watch it now type events. Those used to be fun on Twitter. And then I was really, really, really big on Twitter when I was addicted to watching Big Brother. Because there used to be a lot going on for the people who actually like subscribe to the live feeds, and they would, put out information that's only privy to people who paid the extra money, stuff like that. But now the only time I ever get on Twitter is if somebody has a sex tape or a dick pic that went viral. I mean, that's really all it's there for.
It sounds like you enjoyed Twitter before Elon bought it.
Yeah, I remember when Twitter was a thing. Like, I remember when Twitter was brand new and we didn't really know what to do with it yet. And it just makes me sick to my stomach that I've been a part of so many like online social communities before they became a big thing, and I never truly seize the moment that I have with it. Like, when it came to Twitter, I didn't really make a big deal about building the platform. Same thing with Facebook. When Facebook Lives became a thing, I didn't really use it. Like I watch people who started around the same time that I started, and watching what they've built in this amount of time has been crazy. Like one lady I watch, Tanya TKO, watching what she has done with her platform and how she's pretty much still, true to her roots, as they call it, but just seeing how she's managed to build a huge following and like really establish herself as like a relationship I don't want to say guru, but content creator on YouTube. It's really great to see that.
Nowadays, everybody want to be a content creator. Even rappers, they forgot how to rap and just be content creators.
Listen, look at T-Pain. And T-Pain, he's one. I know who's, what's the other nigga name? Is it T Grizzly?
No, T-Pain, it makes sense because he's a gamer. And plus, he don't got to do any more music at this point because...
that's fair.
He makes money off his own music. So that's
fair.
That's valid for him. I'm just saying rappers now and stuff like that. Like, they're just content creators right now.
Because they're saying there's no music. There's no money in the music. It's just the music. Like, you have to do. Well, I don't know what to say about that.
Industry is paying talentless people here.
Oh, not you're a purist.
Yeah, I gotta be. Plus, that's why people are like weird about Doechii and shit like that, because she actually has talent and they think she's a plant, which is stupid.
I don't know. I've never been big in the music industry, and I think that was one of the things that I always told myself too. Is like when I started out in media, I was like, I don't want to go the music route because I'm not really that invested. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It's an easy pitch. It's an easy sell. It's an easy. Well, I take that back. It's not easy because some people who have like music takes that are actually valid, they are actual connoisseurs of the art form.
No, but some pretend to be like. At least you own up to not knowing and stuff like that, But there's people who are out here faking the funk.
I could believe that.
Yeah, so.
I could believe that. But it's easy to do that because everybody, I think, everyone under the bell, basically, which is the general populace, are casual fans of a little bit of everybody. So if you speak with enough conviction and confidence, you can convince someone that you really know everything there is to know about some shit. And unless somebody else actually knows that what you're saying either makes sense or doesn't make sense, it's all chalked up to just opinion. Like, I can't tell you if Adam 22 on No Jumper versus Vlad versus Academic. Like, I can't tell you who the better music journalist is.
None of them are. I'm telling you that right.
But they all make millions of dollars doing it. So it's just like, what? How do you?
They do it for clout, basically. Like I said, they're content creators that pretend to be music connoisseurs, basically. And they basically jumped off the backs of people who actually know it, you know? So,
I mean, but wouldn't it make sense to at least have one person in your camp that actually knows it? Like, put somebody on your team to get you some notes or something.
nah, I mean, they thrive off of controversy and stuff, and, all the negative stereotypes for black people, basically.
Nah, that's wild.
Also, No Jumper is about to go bankrupt. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, he recently said that there's no money in, No Jump. Well, Adam 22 said he got no more money in No Jumper.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a recent thing, so that sounds like...
I'm surprised Whack 100 didn't get on Clubhouse talking about it.
Oh, he eventually will. But that is a Rose of the Week, though.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you done.
Here's how I almost became right-wing.
Oh, God.
As a Ghanaian born and raised person, falling down the all-right pipeline was not on my to-do list. But let me tell you how it was done. So the first thing is, number one, alienation from mainstream black culture or politics. That was the first step into it. So many black people who fall into the all-right pipeline start by feeling disconnected from the mainstream black culture or politics. Maybe they grew up in an environment where they were called whitewashed for speaking properly or not conforming to certain stereotypes. Maybe they never truly felt accepted in predominantly black spaces, or even plain reduced to a stereotype in white spaces, which was the case for myself. The alienation can lead to resentment, making you susceptible to ideologies that validate your feelings of being an outsider. The all-right pipeline exploits you by offering an alternative identity, one where you're not black first, but rather an individual who thinks for themselves. This framing can be very seductive because it presents itself as empowering, but when in reality, it's just a tactic to isolate you from your own community. So the truth is, right, a lot of black people in these all-right spaces are not really seen as equals in these spaces. They just use to push a narrative, a kind of sort of like I've got a black friend sort of narrative. So number two was reaction to identity politics and victim narratives. A huge entry point to all-right pipeline is rejecting what you see as a victim mentality in black political discourse. If you're tired of hearing about oppression, systemic racism, or reparations, it's easy to be drawn into spaces that claim success is...
Oh my gosh. I wanted to make him finish the sentence, but I didn't want to get too far from it. This is what I have a problem with when it comes to black bootstrappers. Anytime I get into a conversation with black people on the internet about the state of black people in America, and they get to talking about you just gotta work hard, you just gotta blah 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 blah, and they don't never want to check their privilege, I immediately categorize them as a black bootstrapper. And once you're categorized as a black bootstrapper, there's no more arguing with you. You think what you think and you feel what you feel, and there's it. That's it, and that's all. They're not like us, and I really feel like that, and I hate that it gets to be that point, because yes, I understand there is a certain frustration with people who don't want to let me let him finish saying what he's saying, and I'll find the words. But that's definitely that's a trigger for me. Them black bootstrappers, that's a trigger for me for sure.
Purely individual, and racism is overblown. So these communities don't actually want black people to succeed. They just want to weaponize your voice against other black people. Number three was gradual desensitization to racism and white nationalism. The all-right pipeline doesn't just start with swastikas or racial slurs, calling people the N-word. That's not how it starts at all, okay? It begins with facts over feelings, those type of people, facts over feelings type of people, or IQ statistics or critiques of black culture. That's how it starts. You might hear things like, what about black on black crime? Maybe single motherhood is the real problem. That's to my Andrew Taylor right there, they're going to end up being single mothers. That's all pushing into the all-right pipeline, okay? So at first, these seem like neutral observations. They might seem smart to someone whose brain is underdeveloped. But as you go deeper, the rhetoric escalates into all-right white nationalism. You might start consuming content that suggests black people are biologically less intelligent, that segregation wasn't so bad as we're seeing that conversation right now, or that white people are the real victims of racism today. That's the funniest one. At some point, you'll be so deep in the ideology that you start justifying things you would never have before, okay? You might think you're just being logical, but in reality, you're just internalizing white supremacist talking points. If a movement regularly attracts open white nationalists, if its leaders have ties to hate groups, and if its core message revolves around diminishing black struggles, then maybe it's not about free thinking after all. So the fourth one is materialism and the worship of success. This might be a bit more relatable to some people, but just hear me out, okay? So
This has definitely been the topic of conversation. Actually, I have a Instagram post about that. I'll go to it after this. But this idea of Black excellence being the scam that they sold us after Black Power. That's been a conversation that's been happening a lot lately. And I am really interested in actually, damn. I gotta stop doing these so late because there's certain people I be wanting to call to have or I gotta warn them at the very least. I'll probably do it again on Sunday. I'll warn them and let them know. But yeah, it's a conversation worth having for sure because it's been making its rounds on the internet, and it's like it's been a thing for I guess a while now. It started with the reformed gifted kids speaking up and talking about how when you were once in like the gifted programs, in school and all of that, like how did that end up manifesting when you got to college or when you got into the workplace, and things like burnout and neurodivergency and all of these other things that are categorized around that conversation kind of took hold, but we never really talked about the actual societal implications of the quote unquote Black excellence. But it's interesting that he brings this up.
Christian, there was a massive push on Christian materialism, which is the idea that wealth and power are
prosperity gospel.
That success is a reflection of morality, then it's easy to start viewing rich, powerful white conservatives as deserving of their position, while struggling Black communities are seen as lazy.
You said what?
That's how America is with celebrities and everything like that.
Well, I mean, I don't think that was always a thing. I mean,
it always was.
No, I mean, not that I don't think that was always a thing, but I think it used to be. It took a lot more for you to claim celebrity status. I think with the rise of the internet, we kind of made anyone popular a celebrity.
Oh, that made it worse.
When it used to be, you actually had to have a talent that very few other people had for you to be of this status and be deserving of all of this money and fame and all of these other things. Now when you have people like I don't know, somebody that
Trump.
will
Literally Trump. Yes. The man was a reality show star who's an active Twitter user, ran into politics, 2-time president. He literally fits that mold right there. Like,
yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah, like
lazy or spiritually deficient. This mindset can lead to glorifying capitalism and rejecting social programs. Examples like, if God blesses hard work, why should the government help the lazy? Blaming Black people for systemic struggles. If they just followed Christian values, marriage, discipline, faith, they wouldn't be in poverty. Aligning with white conservatives who claim to represent Christian values whilst actually pushing policies that harm the Black communities. Donald Trump, him, yeah.
oh, there we go.
If you're going down this path, ask yourself, are you being embraced as an equal, or are you just a useful tool? The all-right pipeline thrives on self-hate minorities who will parrot its views for validation. By the end of the day, no matter how much you conform, you'll never be fully accepted in spaces that are just built on white supremacy, because you know why?
You was just another nigga in their eyes.
It was something I watched yesterday or the day before yesterday, but they basically were saying that when you are a Black person mirroring and mimicking the things that you hear white people say to other Black people, they're applauding you for being so well versed in their rhetoric. They're not accepting of you, but they're just like, oh, look at how much you love me to copy me and say and do what. Yeah, because you're just validating them in feeling that what they think and feel is right. They're not accepting you as one of their own. They're not wanting to, invite you into the fold. Like, they're not doing any of that. Like, they're literally just like, oh, look at how good look at how good you learned the things that I, have been teaching. Like
He's a magical Negro.
I mean, yes and no, but it just always makes me feel weird. Like I've never. I get it. Yeah, but it's even worse because I've gotten it from other black people. Like I've gotten it from ignorant black people who have been on some. Oh, you're so well spoken, and you're so blah 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 blah, and it's just like the shock that comes from the shit. Like it just be like so off-putting sometimes because it's just like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, is it because you can't speak like this? Like, is it because you can't code switch this well? Like, is this shade? Like, are you being shady right now because you wish you were able to? Because I don't know. I don't think I'm token worthy. I've never been the token I take that back because I've been the token black girl, but in a Spanish girl group. I've never been the token black girl in a group of white girls. That's never been my MO. But a bunch of Spanish bitches, yeah. I've been the one or two black girls in a group of Spanish bitches for sure.
My case, I wouldn't say I was token because I blended in any group, to be honest. Black or Latino, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's always been a cool flex. I mean, granted, I've always had Dominican homegirls. Like, I've always been in a group of Spanish girls, mostly Puerto Rican, but I've always been the closest to the Dominicans. And I don't know what it is about Dominicans and Jamaicans, why it's just always been like that. Like I've always, like in junior high school, it was my homegirl Kim. In high school, it was Alejandra. Like it is what it is. Like I don't know. College was my homegirl Mina. Like for some reason, if there's a Dominican female, and it's funny, it's always the ones from the Bronx. The ones in the Heights I don't really vibe with them like that. But Dominican chicks from the Bronx, they got it. They got it. Some of the most down to earth women I've ever been around. As far as like, and I've had conversations with other homegirls who are like, "Yo, I don't really fuck with Spanish bitches like that." And it's usually a lot of times it be little slick shit that sometimes that they will say. And don't get me wrong, because I've been around some of the times and I've heard and seen the things that they've said. But again, I don't. As long as you wasn't saying that shit about me.
Nah, I had to check some friends over that, for sure. I was like, if you don't fuck with them, you don't fuck with me. So which is it?
I mean,
like straight up, like I had to put it flat like that. I'm like, yo, if you're not fucking with them, you ain't fucking with me. Period. So what's the? Like, I give them a straight up ultimatum.
But why would they? I mean, cause so like I got a homegirl. She's I guess you could say Black American. Every time we've had the conversation about why she's never fucked with Spanish women, it's usually because they're racist towards her. And I get that because Jamaicans are racist towards Black Americans. Like I feel like all Caribbeans, and this is again not saying what's right or wrong, but I grew up hearing certain things about Black Americans that were not the nicest. You know what I mean? I just was of the era of like those is my classmates, those is my friends, those are the people that I hang around with, in our neighborhood. So I'm not really trying to hear none of that shit. But for other people, the things you hear about folks that you don't take the time to get to know, you tend to internalize that. So I kind of understood why she felt the way that she felt about them, because she had the experiences that she had with them. Me, on the other hand, luckily, I didn't have those experiences. I didn't have nobody be racist towards me until I got to college. Thank God, knock on wood. Like, my first racial experience was at 18 years old, my first day on my college campus.
No, on the flip side, I've seen it from both. From like Caribbeans and like Black Americans. When I tell Black Americans, when they find out I'm Latino and shit, they be like, yo, you an imposter. I'm like, what you mean? He was like, you ain't black, you Spanish. I'm like, yo, my ancestors on slave ships just like yours. So I'm as black as you. Like,
yeah, but I think
Nah,
when it comes to singing black, I think it's more of like the culture of it, because I feel like whatever the culture of what you grew up in is what you are. Like, as much as I would love to say that, you know, I'm ethnically Black American, I am culturally Jamaican before anything. Like,
of course,
culturally Jamaican before anything. Like,
but in America though, that's the one similarity right there. Like, the one similarity experiences that you share with Black Americans is living here in America. Of course, your Jamaican culture is different, but
I guess I get what you mean.
yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. It's like, why use all these ethnic cultural differences to create like an invisible divider amongst yourselves and all that? Like, I think that's just ignorant in my opinion. But I get it. I mean, it's bad that both do it.
But see, I don't necessarily think it was created to create a divide as much as it was created to give people a sense of pride. Like, I can be proud to be Jamaican culturally and still go hard for Black America, which is what I technically do and which is technically what I am. Because, again, there's certain conversations that I'll have, you know, when it comes to like some of these statistics, or like what old boy was talking about with, you know, some of these talking points about Black Americans and single parenthood and blah, blah, blah. And I go super hard against, you know, the criticisms of Black American women. And then it usually is like, oh, but aren't you Jamaican? Yes, but it doesn't matter. I grew up and was raised in the Bronx, in New York. So
you're still going to get profiled the same way.
Right. So, you know, like, my ethnicity, the only thing that my ethnicity may do is make white people categorize me as maybe a rung higher than a Black American. And this is not me speaking. This is just like, just thinking out loud, because it is a thing where they have a hierarchy of the acceptable Blacks. If you are African versus if you are Caribbean versus if you are Black American, but from like the bougie higher up hierarchy, or are you Black American from the hood, the ghettos, the slums, as you will. Like, there is a hierarchy of Blacks. So let's not, you know, get sensitive about that. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah. And I hear the same thing happens when it comes to, you know, people of Latin and Hispanic descent. Like, they have their own hierarchy of racism, but yet for some reason, white people think all of y'all are Mexicans. So it really don't matter if Venezuelans think they better than Ecuadorians who think but it don't matter. You're all Mexicans to these niggas. It don't matter.
And then Cubans do it to their own too, which is fucking stupid. That's
listen, it's all white supremacy at the end of the day. That's
one of the biggest reasons why I hate Miami, but that's another topic.
Miami is hilarious. But no, I think that's a very interesting. Who's this guy? Blixberry? Or if that, no, Blixberry is somebody else who reposted it.
Wait, look at the TikTok
handle. K Frimpong Art. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. I don't know who that is, but shout out to that young man, because he was spitting nothing but facts.
This is perfect for FBAs and them ADOS dummies.
I mean,
this is literally what it was made for them. Like,
I don't necessarily know if I would call them dumb though. There's a place for ADOS. There's a place for FBA. There's a place for, you know.
Of course, there's a place, but like denying your ancestral roots to a country that your ancestors were basically dropped off in is kind of crazy. But I get it's not their fault, because they were taught that they were American and not African. Like, so I get that part of it.
Can you move the mouse, because my keyboard is wet, so I gotta wipe it off. But close this and start the... Oh, matter of fact, never mind. I think I got it.
Sure?
Yeah, I got it. I just had to turn the keyboard off real quick. And I wasn't even on that screen. Yay, me. Oh, wait. Before I do that, I did say that there was an Instagram that talked about the Black excellence thing. And Yes, it was Vic Mensa.
I reposted something from 19 Keys the other day saying black excellence is the scam to replace black power. I said, what's wrong with black excellence? I guess it's something that might be a controversial statement because we've been so deeply indoctrinated into the idea of black exceptionalism that we think one athlete, one actor, one president, one rapper represents meaningful progress for black people as a whole. But the studies show that black median wealth will reach zero by the year 2053 if the current trends continue. Millions of us live in prison slave camps making lids for Starbucks cups for like 50 cents a day. The hood is as fucked up as it's ever been. But we got more millionaires than ever before. That shit is a scam. I think that's also the reason why we don't unify or strike and weaponize our labor in any of the industries that we dominate. The NBA, the NFL, the music industry. Because so rarely is one of us more than one step removed from poverty, so nobody's willing to risk it. We know we're being exploited by streaming. We make up all the labor and none of the ownership of the sports teams. Shit, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not saying we shouldn't strive for excellence as a people or as individuals. But we cannot make the mistake of confusing one of us getting out the hood with the progress of the group. We also have to look at the success of individuals that's achieved to the detriment of the masses. We be celebrating shit just because a nigga got some money. It don't matter who the fuck had to die. Like if niggas run around making a bag off the prison industrial complex, are we cheering that shit on? My homie reached out to me after I reposted something from 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
First thing I'm going to say, that tweet is dumb.
Do you think it's dumb because it's 19 keys, or do you think it's dumb?
It's dumb because it's 19 keys. Because he's a scammer. That's the biggest part. But
listen, it could be the right message, just wrong messenger, and I think people get caught up in that sometimes.
True, but the real scam is this. That it's capitalism that replaced black power. That's the thing that replaced it. Not black excellence. Black excellence means it's for capitalism, basically. So like, from what Vic said, what Vic was saying, he was cooking. I agree with everything he said there. 19 keys, not so much, but it's capitalism that affects black people as a whole and shit.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I've definitely said consumerism is going to be the death of us for sure, and it is what it is.
Like the Panthers knew what they was doing back then. They just got bodied by the government because there was that much of a threat. You know, so.
But it's been happening for a minute now. Like I've been seeing that this conversation has popped up a few different times. Actually, I don't know what it is. I just been saving mad random shit. I gotta start organizing them. I really gotta start organizing them. What did I save this for?
Have to go on up and go over to the brother and say, listen, King, I've been clapping your Queen Cinnabons. I'm sorry. Lust got the best of me. What I did was wrong. I'm coming to you man to man. I don't want no beef. I don't want no drama. You have to go on up.
I remember what this was for because this happened.
You know one of my biggest fantasies?
What?
I have yet to do it, and I don't know how.
What?
And I think he lying.
I want you to call him while I'm in you and try to keep a conversation so he don't know what we doing. I've never been able to do it, though. Everybody be scared.
That FaceTime by accident? OD violation.
First of all,
NLE Chopper reminds me of my homeboy that I grew up with.
That's hilarious.
Minus the grills and all that, but he's some light-skinned Jamaican nigga. So
basically, he's saying he wants to be with a woman who is cheating on her man. And while she's actively cheating, he wants her to be on the phone lying to her man. I'm like, this is so high school. Like, this is shit. This is shit young bitches do.
True.
And to want to bring, and I make jokes about this all the time, and I say it, men are chasing, like millennial men. Let me be very clear. Millennial men are out here chasing high school crushes, love, feelings, butterfly. Like they are chasing that high school high when it comes to dealing with other women, and it's fucking exhausting.
Bruh.
Like it's exhausting because you're a grown ass man. How old is he? How old is NLE Chopper?
I don't think he's better. He's not even 30 yet.
Like
Yeah, the first one right there.
Oh.
Yeah, YouTuber as well.
Oh, he 22.
Oh, he's a Gen Zer, so pack him up.
Oh my god. Oh, how they say? Oh my days. He is 22. This is what I'm saying. He also, that is high school shit. Like, why you?
That is so disrespectful.
That is beautiful. It's romantic for a side for sure.
Because you know what you're about to do while she's doing that? Trying to make her
crazy. No, I'm not. No, I promise I won't.
I promise I won't. You'll be quiet.
I promise I won't.
No one believes that. You'll be quiet.
I promise I won't.
No one believes that you're going to be quiet. No one believes that you're going to be still.
I'm going to slow down. I'm going to take the moment in because I've been waiting on the moment. Why would I get this moment just to f it up? I'm finna.
And what if she's on the phone like, I love you, I miss you.
That's even better.
You'll be okay with that?
That's even better.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna shoot the club, but boy, that gonna, that is poetic. You know one of my biggest fantasies?
What?
I have yet to do it.
That's ridiculous. Does he have kids? From Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to Memphis. They got Glorilla, Emily Chopper, Key Glock. That's what's up.
Oh, he got 2 kids. Ridiculous. Like, what? Oh, yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah, I should have known he was. I don't know why I didn't look at Bryson LaShawn Potts. I feel like I heard he was Jamaican too.
Yeah, it says it right there. His mom is Jamaican.
Yeah. Bryson LaShawn. That's hilarious. That nigga was born in 2002. Oh my God.
Crazy. Freshman year high school.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is insane.
Wild.
He was born when I was on my way to being a young lady. That's nuts.
I was cutting class while he was born, when he was born. That's
You
crazy.
so stupid. But yeah, so I had saved that, and then this was the very next thing that popped up on my timeline, and I was like, my
you have
algorithm.
To go on up and go over to the brother and say, listen, King.
My algorithm was algorithming.
I've been clapping your Queen Cinnabons. I'm sorry. Lust got the best of me. What I did was wrong. I'm coming to you man to man. I don't want no beef. I don't want no drama. You have
Ridiculous. Oh, this was funny.
Being obese, I hate it because it becomes a way to blame.
Now, see, the cameraman is so wrong for this. Whoever was running that booth, they didn't have to do this shot. This was unnecessary. I don't know what this conversation was. I don't know what was the purpose of this. But sometimes people... Why don't people act accordingly when cameras are on?
Us for a set of conditions that we didn't create. We are living in the Trump era. And look, those policies kill our people.
But you was fat before Trump got in office, and you know that.
Bruh.
Like,
it's about COVID, so.
You know that. Trump don't got nothing to do with why you fat.
And what public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same. I hate when people talk about black.
Time out. Her message. Time out. 2 things.
Oh shit! Wait.
Wow.
Oh man, I knew I saved this for a reason. She was pissing me off. Oh my God.
2 things. Terrible message. Terrible messenger.
Yes.
What she should have said was,
oh man,
it's hard to buy healthy food. Healthy food's expensive and all that shit. But no, she went with this bullshit.
I can't. when I seen this, I was like, yeah, they gotta get ridiculous.
Not everybody gotta be on camera talking
Did
shit.
she just blame her obesity on racism?
She's not wrong about obesity and racism. There is a link to that. That's a fact.
So how come all black people ain't fat? I mean,
high blood pressure, diabetes. Black people, that's the biggest causes for black people.
Right, but that's also because black people do not. Black people are not empowered to speak up at the hospital or speak up at the doctors, and I am guilty of that.
I mean, not just hospitals. I'm just saying, like the food that we eat. Like,
yeah, but it's
poverty.
also things that if our quote unquote primary care doctors really cared and did their jobs the way that they were supposed to do their jobs, a lot of those things would have been caught a lot sooner. Like the reason why high blood pressure is easy to catch and diagnose in black people is because that's the one test that you can't really fake. Like when you do the little blood pressure thing, the number pops up and they have to input that number, and if it's high, they have to do something about it. But when it comes to like glucose levels and things in your blood and, you know, testing your urine, testing your stool, doing all of those things, they don't really advocate for stuff like that. Like I've had situations where I was supposed to get follow-up, you know, appointments, and it'll just fall to the wayside. And me, I'm somebody where I'm not about to make it a big deal. Like if you're not knocking down my door to tell me that something's wrong, I'm gonna just be like, all right, cool, and I'm gonna keep doing my herb thing, doing my natural thing, and that's gonna be that. But there are things that you have to advocate for yourself for when it comes to how you feeling and the pain that you feel, the discomfort, the symptoms that you have, all types of stuff. It's just really hard to feel like people care. And it's like even now there are things that I'm questioning, like, is this because I'm getting older, or is this something that I need to be concerned about? Like these are things that I have to consider. And I think that that's one of the major reasons why I really, really, really want to hurry up and you know, start moving and shaking, because I want to be able to get to a place where I could go to the doctors that I know that are going to actually do something. I don't want to be under, you know, any of the quote unquote affordable healthcare programs, because they're not going to pay for the things that need to be done. They're not gonna issue those extra tests. They're not gonna take the extra time to send your shit to a specialist. They're just gonna give it a once over and try to get through the other thousands, hundreds of thousands of people under the same care as you. Like I've been researching, like, what kind of insurance do niggas have when they gotta go to NYU Langhorne? Like what kind of insurance do people have when they go to Mount Sinai and all of these big hospitals? Like what kind of insurance them people got? I don't want Metro Health. I don't want United. I don't want none of those. Give me the shit that be having them rich white people staying in them places where they get meal plans and all types of, yeah, I need that kind of insurance.
We're never gonna get that here in America, because again, we don't get proper health care here because black people have rights. But that's free healthcare. That's not the ones that you actually got to pay for. No, I'm saying universal healthcare. I mean, I'm saying the reason why that doesn't exist here in America is because black people have rights. So, like, the way to avoid that is to exploit them by either charging people for healthcare, or because there's a lot of black people who don't have healthcare because it costs too much and shit. So they'll rather not see a doctor at all and just keep it pushing. No, that's a fact. So that's a big thing. Like I said, there's a lot of uninsured black people for sure. I think Michael Jordan at one point, he opened up clinics in North Carolina to help uninsured black people. I forgot which specific part. I think it's either Charlotte or Durham or whatever. But it takes a billionaire to do that shit. Yeah, but he's only one, and for them to say that there's all of these billionaires. Actually, I think that's another thing that I saved too. I mean, there's all of these billionaires, but what do they contribute to the rest of society? Like, it shouldn't be billionaires. I mean, their taxes, yeah, it should contribute, but it's government's job to do that shit, basically. But you know, our government is racist as fuck, so they don't want to help black people materially. So
the morning routine guy that got everybody up in arms. Damn, where is it? It was a post about how many. It was like the amount of millionaires by state, and I do believe New York and California have the most.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there are a few states that have a couple. Where is it?
It's probably all the blue states.
And then the states that had absolutely none, those were interesting as well. Because I was just like, I wonder what it is about those areas, why there are no millionaires. Is it because of a lack of need for that, or is it just because they're not from there, or they move somewhere else and then become millionaires, so they count for something else? Because I could see that too. I could see a bunch of people from Middle America moving to a New York or a California and then amassing millions, billions even, and then just never claiming where they were originally from. Damn, I can't find it. I did want to sit here and say this. For all y'all that was in that 23andMe craze.
To 23andMe, you should probably go and delete that right now. This morning, it was announced that 23andMe filed for bankruptcy and that its CEO, Ann Wojcicki, was resigning. 23andMe is, of course, the DNA testing company. They said that this morning, 23andMe shares dropped more than 50% in early trading after the company filed for bankruptcy late Sunday, blah, 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 shareholder value, whatever. Here is what's actually alarming. Quote, 23andMe's global database has grown into a virtually unprecedented repository of human genetic information that can now be sold in bankruptcy proceedings. That's right. The privacy statement of 23andMe says that, quote, if they are involved in a bankruptcy, merger, acquisition, reorganization, or sale of assets, your personal information may be accessed, sold, or transferred as part of that transaction. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the DNA that you've given them could be scooped up by whoever and used in all sorts of crazy ways. Things like maybe cloning you without your permission.
I don't know
your
about
DNA
that.
could be sold to malicious actors
I
who
don't know
could then
about
use
that
that
either.
DNA and leave it at
Somebody took
crime
his
scenes that
foil
you were
away from
never
him.
at. Of course, bioweapons is always
This,
a possibility.
I believe.
I mean, okay, those are admittedly kind of crazy
The third
examples.
one, I definitely
Maybe
can
they
see
won't
that.
happen. But then there are those mundane use cases that probably will happen. One of which is insurance companies using that DNA data to deny you coverage, which is something they definitely love to do. So if you don't want that, here are the instructions on how you can delete your data from 23andMe. Pause to read. Heads up, if you've ever given your...
I should have paused it. But yeah, I thought that this was very interesting. I mean, I was always skeptical of the 23andMe just as a whole. And then when I found out what it was that they were actually doing, it's like they're not... What they were doing was like, I feel like it's like genome mapping or something like that. Basically, the more samples they got in, the more they were able to break certain things down. So like they had a general idea. People from this region generally have these genome markers. People from this region generally have this genome marker. And then as you get more people with more mixes and more, combos, then they were getting to be more and more in depth with their description. So like I do believe in the beginning they weren't as accurate as they became in the last few years. So it was like them, it was ancestry.com, it was a few of these different companies. And I just felt like it was just so strange because I always thought like, well, what is it that you're doing with this random spit? And then the show, was it the 100?
Ancestry is more accurate though. I could definitely attest to that. A friend of mine found out about his adopted mother and found his biological mother and met his biological siblings off of ancestry.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
so that one's more accurate than 23andMe.
Well, I think 23andMe is more so just like
It's a bootleg version.
No, I think it's more about like your ethnicity. Like when 23andMe became popular, it was, oh, I have 6% Cherokee Indian, so now I can apply for this scholarship at these schools because now I could claim blah 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 blah. I don't think like Ancestry, I do believe, was more like if you want to find your, family and stuff like that. Things, I mean,
yeah, because my boy found out that he was Cameroonian descent through his biological mom.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how he basically tracked down where she came from and then found where his other siblings were at in the country and stuff, and then they actually met. I think they met like 5-6 years ago. And they got a relationship ever since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I stand corrected. Yeah, I stand corrected. I mean, I definitely had a friend of mine in college because we have the same last name, and it's not a very common one. We assume, and then he does like his family does have roots in New York, but they just wasn't there long enough. And so I do believe his dad had an Ancestry.com account, and I think we tried to like trace it back, and there was a leaf, because I remember with Ancestry.com, like they really played on that tree thing. So if you typed in a family member's name, a leaf would pop up that would link you to everybody else who may be tied to that particular person. So whether it be by spouse, by marriage, or like, adoption or whatever, if there was another tree on the site that linked to that person, you would see a leaf that pop up. And I do believe we had a leaf, and then I think my free trial expired or something like that, and I was supposed to pay to see what the link was, but I never went back to it. This was like, I want to say 2012, 2013-ish. So I wonder if my account is still there with all that information. But no, I just was always skeptical of the spit in this tube or swab your nostril and send this. Like, I just wasn't about none of that.
Yeah, I understand it.
And so now to hear this, and then like I said, that show, the 100 came out, and that was like one of the major prefaces of the show. Like, niggas went through all of these people's DNAs, and they picked only the ones who were the best of the best, and only they got to survive, and everybody else got to die. So for all you people like me with allergies, it's over.
Bruh.
For niggas who got asthma, it's over.
Bruh.
For niggas who got fucking sickle cell, if you got bronchitis, if you got any type of genetic anything, it's over.
Bruh.
And that's information you don't need to be getting out there. So yeah, all that other stuff he was talking about, oh yeah, this is how you could delete it. All that other stuff he was talking about, oh, they could clone you, no, they're not doing none of that. I mean, unless they need clones to, like, keep capitalism running and, treat them like the people in us.
I mean, they got AI to do that right now. So.
Yeah, that too. But it says log into your account, go to your profile, tap settings, scroll to the 23andMe data section at the bottom, and click view. If you want to download your data, select what you want to download. Then you scroll to delete data section and click permanently delete, and then confirm your request. So yeah, I mean, I hope niggas, I hope y'all get to it. I hope y'all,
Data from 23andMe right
get caught
now.
out there.
I'm Eliza Orleans, career public defender for 15 years in Manhattan, and I've been screaming for years about people voluntarily surrendering their DNA to databases because I've spent countless hours litigating to try to keep my clients' DNA out of a database. Maybe you never heard me say that you should not voluntarily hand over your DNA to anyone, let alone 23andMe, these for-profit companies. If you did, you need to watch this video in full. Yesterday, 23andMe declared bankruptcy. And so deleting your DNA from their database is more critical than ever. Because what happens when companies go bankrupt? Well, their assets get sold off. And guess what their most valuable asset is? It's your DNA. Now let's back up for a second, because this bankruptcy announcement comes less than 2 years after a massive data breach, which exposed the genetic information for 6.9 million users. And unlike a stolen credit card, you can't get a new DNA sequence. But here's the real nightmare scenario.
6.9 million
With 23andMe
users?
going bankrupt, your DNA could be sold to God knows who. It could be sold to pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, governments, foreign entities. You have no idea who's going to end up with it. And if you think that the US government is going to step in and stop this sale in order to protect you, well, look at how much they care about data privacy. Spoiler alert, it's not much. Even before this bankruptcy mess, your DNA was not safe because law enforcement could use these DNA databases to track people down, even if they never consented to be in the system. And yes, they caught the Golden State Killer this way, which sounds great, but the reality is, once your DNA is out there in one of these databases, you lose control over how it's used. Now with 23andMe's financial collapse, that loss of control can be permanent and absolute.
What if your parents
can you
or
do
siblings?
if you've ever used 20?
Okay, yeah, that's basically the same thing. So basically saying, but if your parents, siblings, aunts, or uncles have submitted their samples, but you have not? Yeah, that's a good question. There are definitely risks to doing DNA tests, and deletion isn't a bad idea, but I feel like alarm is simply because the government doesn't need these sites to have access to our genetic information, and we live in a country that's been selling us out for profit for years. Yeah, but it's the government. I don't think the government has actual samples of your DNA. Like, unless you've been, like, if you've never been to the hospital, if you've never had any surgeries, if you've never, gone through anything having to be removed from your body, you've never had to do any testing, no biopsy, no nothing, the government wouldn't just have your DNA on file. Like, this is something completely different. 23andMe had to analyze your actual DNA, but whether it was your hair or your spit, and they had to code it. And in saving that code to your account and giving you all of these cute little colors on a map and making you feel like, you're diverse and all of this other stuff, it becomes a bigger thing. Oh, damn, I didn't switch back. It becomes a bigger thing. And so, I mean, I don't know. I really and truly don't know what else to tell y'all. I feel for y'all. I feel the same way about AI too. Like, as much as I want to just put the video in the AI, let it convert the clips for me, let it do all of the transitions and the the captions and the this and the that, like, just put it in AI and let AI do it. You're feeding AI your voice, your likeness, your inflections, your quirks, your tics. You're feeding it everything that makes you you. And you do things enough to where it's gonna be able to replicate. Like, I've been seeing, I think I saved some of those videos too. I've been seeing these videos of these quote unquote fake AI influencers, and it's like, you gotta watch their mouths, you gotta look at the hands, you gotta pay attention to so much shit just to make sure that the person you watching, you really think that they are real. It's really crazy. Oh damn, this is a lot of stuff I've been saving. Damn, I don't know if we ever gonna get through all of it. Where is
the rest of the tweets that the rest of the links.
Where is the one about the AI? Oh, you mean the rest of the Twitter links?
Yeah.
All right, sure. We could go through those.
Just exposed as being evicted from the very same apartment he recorded the viral video from. So a screenshot of an eviction case has gone viral today showing the defendant as Ashton Hall, the man.
Okay, what does it say? Brickell Flatiron Condominium Association, a Florida not-for-profit corporation, versus Silent Sky LLC, a Florida LLC, and Ashton Hall individually. So basically suing him and his quote-unquote media company. and received by blah blah blah. I, Andre Samuels, being duly sworn, dispose and say that on the 14th day of March 2025 at 4:55 p.m. I served the individual service by delivering a true copy of a civil action summons and a complaint for residential eviction and specific performance with the date and hour of the service endorsed. And what the fuck? Legalese is so bored. Like, what? Who invented this language for why? This is ridiculous.
That sounds like a weird ass eviction. That's a weird eviction notice from Florida.
Yeah, that don't sound. Yeah, that don't sound like a. Yeah, that don't sound like an eviction notice. But
his age, his race, his height, his weight, and
yeah, why would they? Description: male, black, age. I didn't believe it said 30. It says height is 5'5".
He's taller than that. He was in the NFL.
Weight 170. Hair black. Glasses no. 5'5", 170. He my size.
He played in the NFL. There's no way he's that size.
And then even listed his apartment address, which people didn't really think was true until they went to look at the Zillow.
Yeah, that seems
weird. And when you look
weird.
up the address that is listed in the case document, it takes you to this apartment right here in Miami, Florida, renting at $17,000 a month. And with the listing photos, we can match these up exactly to Ashton Hall's video. So here is the living room, the door he's about to go out to onto the balcony. And this is the same living room with the same balcony right here. Here is one of the two balconies that he would be working out on. Here's the screenshot of him on one of those
doing one fake push-up, which is hilarious.
Two balconies where he was doing his workout with his Saratoga water. And you may be saying that those pictures do not match up 100%. Well, the real kicker is when he leaves his apartment, he puts his phone outside to show him leaving his door. And this...
But see, you don't see the whole door though, or do you? Okay, yeah, you do see the whole door. Yeah, that may be. I mean, I don't know.
This door the apartment happened to put in the listing matches exactly. And this is it. This is the door right here. You can see the same green reflection of the exit sign, the same lock, the same people. This was his apartment. Apparently, the whole reason for the eviction.
Sometime after tenant took possession of the property, tenant and or somebody acting by or through the tenant breached the association's security system and improperly cloned the key fob, providing access to the common elements, condominium, and property.
So basically trespassing. So he broke the lease. Basically, is what they said. What they're saying. What they're implying here.
He made a copy of the key.
Was that sometime after the tenant took possession, he or someone acting as him improperly cloned the key fob, providing access to the common elements and condo property.
I mean,
yeah, it's kind of fishy. That's really fishy.
I mean, it's just a matter of like. I don't know, and I don't really know if that's real. That's number one. I don't know if it's real, and then number two, I don't think it matters. I think more so, people ought to be laughing at the fact that he really thought he was going to get that shit off, telling people they gotta wake up. What you call it?
Late night routine.
Yeah, his night routine was hilarious. Cause it's just like, this nigga don't look like he live here. Cause what did you do all day? And first of all, why would you do a cold plunge and then go get in? Well, I mean, technically, yeah, you are supposed to get in warm water to bring your body temperature back up, but that just seems like.
Hey. Brother, what do you mean? How do
Like, there's nothing in this apartment that says you live here. Like, this is giving you got this on Peerspace.
Let's rent this and do some
Yeah, like you did this on Peerspace.
I go to sleep early because temptation lives late at night. I need you to lock in. Tomorrow, we got to do at least 10,000.
You see, temptation lives at night. That was
like
I thought it was a rag.
So like even that tiny travel size toothpaste, you do not live here, bro. That toothpaste is little as hell. You don't live here.
It's like he Airbnb the spot. You wasted a lot of Saratoga. What the fuck?
Are you trying to get a sponsorship? Yeah, it's not giving what he thought it gave. It's not giving what he thought it gave. Oh, he got another one. Oh, this was 2018, his morning. So he been did this. So now this, I believe I don't know if he lived here either.
Wait, what?
I don't think he lived here either. Cause like, where's your shoe rack? Like, why do you just have one pair of shoes? Like, we don't see a closet. We don't see you actually picking the shoes out of wherever you got them from. They just, you putting on your shoes.
You got time travel Ashton home for GT6.
This is more believable. I could see you living like this for sure.
Dang, bro. AC's not working. Money's not coming through. Got to do at least 10,000.
Stop lying.
Or did he just make this? Wait, did I just get trolled?
Bro, I haven't paid in the last
Did he just redo this in another location? I'm not.
What is it with no fucking socks and shoes?
I'm not doing this. I'm not
what
doing
is
this.
up with
I'm
that?
not doing
Like,
this.
how
I'm not
you
doing
a grown
this.
Man with, I hate that.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So this is his shtick. This is his shtick. He yeah. These.
Wait, why would you go to Planet Fitness to do a workout, then go to the next gym where you work as a trainer?
This is this is his shtick. I don't believe that this is real. This is just
this ain't real.
He's just doing stuff to do stuff.
And he just had McDonald's.
Yeah, this is him just doing, basically trying to say like this is how far he's come. He's he just wants to show off. He wants
content creation.
Yeah. I just couldn't understand why people were so upset with him.
Nah, it wasn't upset with him. It was just clowning him. That's
no, I feel like it was people that was upset. That's what I'm saying. I don't know
what is it to be upset about though? Like,
just.
I think he looks he looks hilarious doing this shit like a clown and shit. But that's about it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I think he works out a lot? Absolutely. Yeah. Do I also think he may be on roids? Absolutely.
No, he's not on roids. He's natural. He definitely is natural. Like you could tell he has a football physique. And he maintains it well, but like steroids, nah.
I don't know.
You know what? He might be. He's not 5'5", but there's no way. No, he can't be 5'5".
I mean, why he can't be 5'5"? I don't know. Something about his pay. I don't know what. This is not. Do women think this is sexy? Because this is not sexy to me. Like, I'm not saying he ugly. I'm not saying, like, all of this is making me uncomfortable. This is like, all right, he's fine. He look good. But all of these shirt off, this has got to be for men. This can't be for women.
I mean, that's. I got no comment on that. The reason why I say he's not short, he doesn't look stocky and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and plus, if he had a football background, he got to be taller than 5'5".
I guess.
You know, so.
Yeah, it's something about all them veins just is, it's uncomfortable. I got told I was wrong though. I got told that women love to see niggas veiny form. Not me. I can't. Ugh. It just.
Listen, I've been trying to get veins and my muscles always lifting weights and shit. It's just fucking annoying that I can't get there yet.
I mean, I think it's a lot that goes into that. Like
body fat. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's a lot to to cut your. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, see a little before. Wait, he was yeah, see.
Yeah, but even at 220, he didn't look bad. Cause 220 on some people is flabby. Like I would like this. Like be soft but fit. All of this is unnecessary. This is fine. Like this is acceptable.
Nah, this one is he's more cut basically.
And wait, so I'm supposed to believe that this is a 2 pound difference?
Yeah, like he had more body fat in this one. On this side, he has less body fat. He does way more training, more bulking, basically.
Cheat meal once a week.
Yeah, that works.
Cheat meal whenever. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Nah, that's pretty good. That he.
Oh, that's his thing. Temptation lives late at night. I mean, you're not wrong.
Now go to bed earlier. That makes sense. The 8 hours sleep stuff. I'm with him on that part. Because for men specifically, having like 8 hours of sleep helps out a lot, especially if you're working out and training and stuff like that.
That's fair. I guess we could get through all of the ones that you want to talk about.
Under segregation, I have one chart to show you that should probably change your entire perspective on this topic. There's one chart that I'm going to show you actually completely dispels the myth that I think a lot of people are captured in right now. Before I show you that chart, I got a little something to get off my chest. I think a lot of people have forgotten how we get information. And maybe not even how we get it, but how to access it and what it means to have... I'm in Tokyo. Shout out to Tokyo. It's kind of crazy over here. I think people by and large have forgotten how to come to a good conclusion. It is not simply vibes or nostalgia. It is not simply taking the opinion of someone, extrapolating that into fact or into the right way to think. There is information, like we can do information gathering. We can actually like figure out what makes sense and what doesn't. And I want to show you this chart because I think it helps us to understand.
Oh my God, get to the fucking chart.
Make sense of things. All right, stay tuned. Here's a chart. It's right behind me. Pause, take a look at it. It explains the black poverty rate for individuals from 1959. This is shit.
Oh my God, get out the way.
Things. All right, stay tuned. Here's a chart. It's right behind me. Pause, take a look.
Okay, my goodness, move. Population as of March. The data for 2017 and beyond. Why is it so small today? Reflect the implementation of an updated processing system. The data for 2013 and beyond reflect the implementation of the redesigned income questions. Data is not available for 1960 to 65. The data points are placed at the midpoints of the respective years. Information on confidentiality, protection, sampling, blah, blah, blah. So basically, see, now what the... I hate when people don't pay attention to where you are putting these things. What is this? Poverty? What is this?
That's the poverty rate before segregation and after.
It explains the black poverty rate for individuals from 1959. This is just before some of the civil rights advances, the civil rights protections that were secured during the civil rights movement. It's just before that, 1959, all the way to 2021. And the thing that you'll notice is that in 1959, the black individual poverty rate was over 50%, like 55% for black people. Today, it is just under 20% at 17.1, 17.6, depending upon which chart. Actually, let me show you another chart. Here's that same information, but pulled from the Census Bureau. It's a little bit different. So you see the black poverty rate is at 62.5% in 1965, according to this data, but down to about 17.6 today.
So they had to redo it, readjust it for age.
Because I think the information.
I mean, that's fine.
It dropped by a lot. No matter how you slice it, black people are objectively in a better economic position today than they were in 1965 or 1959 when segregation was still going on. The truth is, segregation never exactly ended. What ended was the government's ability to discriminate in an explicit way. There are many implicit ways that the government is still allowed to discriminate against black people, to keep black people out of certain things. And the legacy of that segregation is, of course, at play for every sector of society, from education to loan access and beyond. Like, it's all there. So we know that those things exist. I want to take seriously the fact that what people are actually getting at with this question is how do we get back to a place where black people looked out for black people, where we had our own, where we were deeply, deeply engaged in community building, base building, we felt a kind of political solidarity with each other. And I'm actually for that. I'm for that.
Word.
But being for that doesn't require us to get into our heads about some distant past that is more amenable to black survival than it is today. My grandmother, I'm gonna tell you this quick story. I didn't even intend to tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you
this nigga talks so much.
In Atlanta, Georgia. It's just on the north side of Atlanta. And it was a segregated community. There's some really amazing, like research done about this community, some incredible like community storytelling that I love. But one of the things she told me is that growing up, the police used to bust down her door because she had a brother, and they bust down the doors of other families who had, are you okay? If the home had a boy, a son, they bust into the home, drag the boy out, and the police would do these kind of ritualistic, routine beatings of that young man. I remember growing up, I'd ask my nana, well, why didn't you tell the people? Why didn't you tell the cops? And she kind of like laughed and said like, they were the cops. There's no one to tell. There was no civil rights division in the Atlanta Police Department or United States government. There's no one to tell. We didn't have protections. That's the whole point. And in many ways, that's the most tangible thing that we go back to if we went back to segregation. And I don't think we wanted that.
Okay, thoughts?
I mean, he cooked there. I think there was a part of it that was missed, like the beginning. They got cut off. Oh, this part here.
Segregation. I have one chart to show you that should probably change your entire perspective on this topic. There's one chart that I'm going to show you actually completely dispels the myth that I think a lot of people are captured in right now.
Yeah,
Before I show you that chart, I got a little...
There was that beginning part that got cut off. It didn't start from there from the beginning, I think.
So you didn't have nothing to add to this?
No, I mean, he was cooking here, like... Now I felt like this had to be added because I feel like that is a narrative. That's a straight up lie, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. And the head bringing up the poverty rate, that's true. I mean, shit, the poverty rate should be lower for black people, but...
I suppose. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. People just be saying shit. And I think that's just the way of the internet. People just be saying things. And it's cool because if somebody agrees, then you feel like you're a little less crazy and you feel, heard and validated and all of those things. And for people who sit here and say, oh, segregation, we would be better off. I mean, as of now?
Hell no. It's still a no.
I don't know if I don't know.
It's still a no. Like, because we take shit for granted that we have now that those motherfuckers didn't have back then. You know
like what?
Like the right to vote. The right to go.
Most black people don't vote.
I mean,
we have the right, but most people don't. Like when and I think that's the point. It's
they don't vote. They don't vote because, well, that's due to policy too. Because certain polling areas, I know New York is different, but I know in southern states, like certain polls are outside of black districts. So it's difficult for certain black people to go out and actually vote. So it's like, nah, fuck it, I'm not gonna go to that county and vote. I'm gonna just sit my ass here, basically. It's like there's situations like that in the South that's going on, basically.
Okay. Well,
I mean, some are not like informed on what's going on either. So
We have no problem with medical system. We have no problem with doctors. But I'm just talking about this program in general, how it's operated around the world. And how it's operated around the world is that basically the doctors are not paid. They basically operate as forced labor.
Let us be clear. The Cuban doctors in Jamaica have been incredibly helpful to us. Jamaica has a deficit in health personnel, primarily because many of our health personnel have migrated to other countries.
Yeah, brain drain is huge in Jamaica.
Not to exploit the Cuban doctors who are here. We ensure that they are treated within our labor laws and benefit like any other worker. So any characterization of the program by others certainly would not be applicable to Jamaica. We are ensuring that our program complies with all the international laws and standards to which we are a party to.
Because this is not about the provision of medical assistance. We have no problem with medical assistance. We have no problem with doctors. But I'm just talking about this program in general, how it's operated.
Marco Rubio touched down in Jamaica thinking he could smear Cuban doctors who provide free life-saving care across the Caribbean. Instead, the Jamaican Prime Minister shut him down hard, reminding Rubio he doesn't speak for Jamaica and has no business undermining those on the front lines of public health. Rubio came to lecture, left humiliated. I mean, yeah, brain drain is a huge issue in Jamaica when it comes to like a lot of their talented people in healthcare, people in finance, people in technology. They all either come here or go to the UK and, you know, take their talents with them. They very rarely ever go back to the island, and I think that's part of the biggest reasons why infrastructure there kind of sucks, government there kind of sucks, and healthcare I found out there definitely sucks. I just saw that list of they ranked a bunch of countries, and I do believe Jamaica was like maybe three steps above US. Yeah, like and the US is like number 30 something, 40 something if I'm not mistaken. 20 30 or 40 something. I don't know, but they're way at the bottom of the list.
No, Brazil surprised me. But I'm gonna give you a backstory on Marco Rubio and why he's a piece of shit.
Okay.
Marco Rubio is Cuban. Well, his family's from Cuba.
Oh.
Rich family from Cuba, but
Oh.
he never lived under Castro. He left, like his family left before he took power, basically. So he was a affluent Cuban who lived in wherever the fuck he's from, Miami, whatever.
Okay.
So he's always been anti-Cuba throughout his whole political career. So him being here, basically smearing like Cuban doctors was for that basic purpose. Basically telling Jamaica not to accept these doctors because they don't get paid for it, which is true. They don't get paid for it. Like the government sends them wherever they need them to be sent to. It's basically the Cuban government use Cuban doctors. They deploy them in different countries in exchange for certain goods, basically. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah, exactly, because that's literally the only option. But like in the case of Marco Rubio, he's just basically pushing that propaganda that Cuba's bad, basically, and shit like why y'all working with them. So the Prime Minister of Jamaica is completely in the right on this.
Yeah, but that's just so weird. Well, I mean, but I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier. It all depends on how you were raised. Like, it doesn't necessarily matter what you are racially. It matters what you are ethnically.
No, but there's a lot of Cubans
or
who
culturally. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what you are racially. It matters what you are culturally and whatever, or ethnically or racially, whatever. Ethnically. But basically, it's whatever you're raised as. Like, because he's ethnically Cuban, but culturally, he's probably closer to white. Yeah, he was raised, it sounds like he was raised white. He thinks he's Caucasian. So it doesn't matter how deep your roots are in a culture, I mean, in a ethnicity or in a group. If you were not raised of that group, you're not going to belong. And
I mean, he definitely is raised in that group, but there's Cubans who have this similar mindset to Rubio.
Really?
Yeah.
And they were raised culturally Cuban?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, most Cubans like him would be anti-Castro because obviously you have to flee the country because he's
but to be anti-Castro doesn't mean you're anti-Cuban, does it?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna catch heat for this. Hopefully, no Cuban hears this shit. But some. Okay, how can I frame this? So, yes, you can be anti-Castro and anti-Cuban government and stuff. Like, obviously, you can be pridefully Cuban and all that stuff. But like, it's like when Cubans come over to the U.S., they basically assimilate because they gave them salvation and asylum and all this bullshit. So they're gonna fall for the propaganda saying, "Oh, America's the greatest country in the world" type shit. And that's how most of them fall prey to that, basically.
Yeah, but how do you? I mean, yes, it's great. It gave you all of this opportunity and all of that, and that's wonderful. But then, how do you then?
No, but also a person like Rubio, he can't speak on that because he never lived that shit. Because like I got family members who lived before and during Castro, and they got the raw deal of it. So for him, a person like him to talk about that, it's like disrespectful to them, And some Cubans don't see that. They just see that, oh, he's Cuban, let's listen to him. But not realizing his backstory like that. So I'm just saying he's a fraud, basically.
Yeah, I wish I was more versed in the Latin dictators because I've heard a lot about the dictators in Dominican Republic, but I don't necessarily see people being like Dominicans will tell you they're not black, but I have yet to hear a Dominican tell me that they're white. If that makes sense. Like I've definitely been like, yeah, the whole me no black, that joke, yes, because they don't, because to them black is Black American, so they don't consider black to be like,
or black is Haitian,
or that too, but I don't necessarily see them have the quote unquote identity crisis that a lot of other Latinos have, because I don't see them wanting to be white adjacent. Because like, for instance, I've been to a lot of events with Latinas in tech, and a lot of them are Dominican. It's like a couple of Colombians, Venezuelans, blah blah blah, but a lot of them are either Dominican or Puerto Rican, and their whole MO is that they're not here to assimilate. They're not here to, code switch, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be their authentic selves, and they empower each other to be their authentic selves. And I think that that's something that is pretty dope. But I do see in other, ethnicities that it becomes this thing of like, sometimes they don't even want to bring up their, I guess, Latin or Hispanic or, whatever other
Oh no, I mean in the U.S.
qualifier there is.
Like to my knowledge, like the ones that come here, I mean they got no other option but to assimilate.
I don't think that that's true. Because there's so many of them that don't speak no English, no matter where they came from, no matter what, Central America, Caribbean, Spain, it don't matter where they come from. If they don't speak English, they come here and they don't speak English. That's it.
I mean, it depends. Like, it depends on how old they are, because like the younger you are, you're gonna learn English. No.
Well, that's only because the school system forces you.
Yeah, I mean.
But once you come here as an adult and you don't have to be in school, what is it? I never forget. It was a lady who called my job. She happened to speak Spanish, was blind, and got lost. And it's like there was so many different layers of issues. I couldn't. It's like my brain froze for a minute, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Because at first it was like she called, and I'm like, is she crying? And it was just like, like me being me. I'm like, is this bitch crying? And then she's like trying to explain, and then so I get the translator on the phone, and the translator is like, oh yeah, the lady is saying she's lost, blah, blah, blah. And then of course you don't speak English, so now this, and then I look at your account, and I find out you're also a blind person. So it's like, I can't tell you where to go. I'm like, is there somebody that can help you? Turns out she's there with somebody. She has a aide there. The aide don't speak good English either, but the aide can see. So I'm just like, why can't the aide figure out to take her back to the block? Because basically what happened was, where she got dropped off, I guess her appointment ended early or whatever. So she left that area and walked to a Dunkin' Donuts, and then doesn't remember, or Starbucks or something, but doesn't remember how to get back to the building that she came from. And it's like, why does the person who can't see, the person who can see, why they don't know you took a left here, you did this, you did that. But then I realized, if they can't speak English, then they probably can't read the signs to know which street they came on, or which way they was at, or remember which corner they was on, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's just the idea of all of these things being a issue. Wouldn't that motivate you to either be with somebody who speaks English, or make friends with somebody who speaks English, or at least have somebody who helps you that speaks English, as opposed to just being in this country and saying, fuck it, I'll cross that bridge when I get there? Because I couldn't imagine going to China, or going to Japan, or going to any of them other Asian countries where English is not the main language. It is, but it isn't.
But they definitely have services that provide. They have translators for the English language. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have those services to help people who don't know.
She didn't have it. I did. She did. Like, if it wasn't for her using our company, like, if she would have just took a cab there, I don't know what she would have done. Like, who could she have called? Like,
the disabled in this country get the short end.
Like, who would she have called? Luckily, because she went through a service that caters to, disabled people, and we have all her information, and we have the resources to be able to help, it's like a big thing. But for some people to be here, and there's people who've been here for years and they still don't speak no English.
Because like, if you're in a community if you're of a community of people from your country, it's like, what's the point of even speaking English when you have connections of people? Because
you are not going to only rely, or maybe
that's
not.
What I'm saying. Like,
because I was about to say, the only way that works is if you only rely on your community.
Yeah,
if you never seek anything outside of your community, then I guess you're fine.
Yeah, like, but if you're Dominican, Rican, Cuban, like if you're in New York, Dominicans gonna have connections either way. Puerto Ricans gonna have connections either way. Like in Jersey or Miami, Cubans would have connections either way, without even knowing English. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, but you just put yourself at a disadvantage.
Not really, because you got the resources and connections that you can establish to get you where you need to get to.
I wonder why black people don't tend to think that same way.
You know what I mean?
Like to be able to
be more like community, like as far as like
to where you don't have to rely. Like, if you can just rely on your community to give you the information that you need, and help you do the things that you need to do, instead of either scamming your own people, or because I've always found that to be very interesting, that only black people, and this is black across the board. Only black people tend to.
If it's public housing, you're not gonna get that. If it's like I would say, if it's outside of public housing, there's community there for black people, I think.
Do black people have? Oh, maybe they do. Maybe I'm just not in it. Like, because I'm trying to think. Like, well, no, I do know somebody who does Notary Public now. I met somebody recently. Well, I've met her a while ago, but I just recently found out that she's a certified Notary Public. Oh, yeah, but like certain things that, because I'm just thinking about like in certain situations where, but I don't know. I really just think that's very interesting. Every other country prioritizes their people learning English except for the Spanish speaking ones.
Well, I mean,
because Chinese, Japanese, Indians for damn sure, Filipino, just about every other race, they prioritize. China pays people to come out there and teach their kids English because they want their children to know English. But for some reason, I don't know. It's like it
depends. With Spanish people, it depends. It depends on what their field of work is. Like if their field of work requires them to know English, they gonna learn that basically.
Yeah, but how do you just choose to want to do something when you're not going to want to learn English? Like, I do notice that that's a big issue with a lot of the drivers who work with our company, is that a lot of times people will call and they be like, oh, my driver doesn't speak English. How are you driving people around and you don't speak English?
Spoiler alert. Well, before this administration, English was not the official language of the U.S.
Wait, what?
English was never the official language of the U.S. in the last 250 years.
Excuse me? What?
English was never the official language of the U.S.
What was the official language of the U.S.?
I mean, now it is because this idiot's in office. But before then, it never was.
I mean, how did English become the official? No official language technically ever existed at the federal level. Oh, I mean, well, that's fair. I mean, I guess that's the rebellious nature of America. It's like, oh,
stolen land. That's why.
Yeah, they created America to get away from the Queen, so they wouldn't make the Queen's language their official language.
So the U.S. would be speaking French if it wasn't. Well, the U.S. would be speaking either French or German.
Yikes! And German is not a sexy language at all. German is ugh.
I know, I got some co-workers who are German.
But no, I mean, that's very interesting. Damn, how did we get to 2 hours already? Shit, an hour and 45? That's nuts.
You're productive up in here.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I mean, there's that. There's definitely that. And yeah, I guess we got through all of your Twitter stuff. I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to find time to organize my what you call it. I'm not doing that. We just gonna have to get through it one step at a time. I do gotta start deleting stuff though. That's what I need to do. I need to start deleting the ones that I've already watched. Like, this gotta go. This could go. Because once I talk about it, I don't need it saved no more. Anything else that you want to add?
I mean, like last thoughts and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, what happens on Earth stays on Earth.
What?
I mean, it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier about life being short. So.
Oh, okay. I could dig it. What happens on Earth stays on Earth. And with that, we're definitely going to say good night.
Peace.
Bye.